Storybox Audio.
Man, this is great. Be prepared to take a lot of notes. It'll be fun, though. You're going to learn a lot. And then perfect. And as you guys wait, a few things. If you guys can open up your chat and let me know where you're from. And then also let me know if you are a current client of ours or if you're not, in how you found out about us. Like maybe you're part of our free credit repair advice group. Would love to hear you guys as to where you're from and how you heard about Credit Life and myself. And if you guys want to, if you want to talk as well, you could either go in the chat or if you want, feel free just to, oh, perfect. I know Dan and Brandon Olson. Oh, that's so cool. Brett, that's great, man. I know Brandon very closely, so that's sweet. I'm excited that you're on today. Perfect. We got some people. Now, as a reminder, for some reason, some people, when they join, it might be because of a link or something, which is totally fine. If you see that your name is my name, Jared Havens, basically in your image area, there should be like in the upper right, in your little box, there's 3 dots next to mute. And if you click it, you can rename yourself to what you want your name to be. So if you could, definitely rename yourself, and that way I know who that I'm talking to, because I got to see Sue, Kim, Alexandra. There's just a few Jared Havens still. Perfect. This is great. We got quite a few people joining us. I'm loving this on a Thursday night. Cheryl from Florida knows us from the Facebook group. That's awesome. Not a client. Hey, that's totally fine. That's good. And then we got Georgia, which I love working. You know, Georgia is one of those states that's kind of interesting, around what we do in credit repair, a part of what we do anyways. And I'll be talking about that later. We have something in place for people that live in Georgia specifically. So I'll bring that up later at the end, just because when we get into the meat and potatoes of the event tonight, it's gonna be very interactive and it's all about learning. There's so much to what we do. And I really want, regardless if you're a client or not, I want everyone to take away and just be a sponge tonight, because it's going to empower you. The more you know, the better you can position yourself to improve your credit and also your financial position. You'll notice that in everything that we do, we're constantly bringing both in together. It's about credit, your financial position, and then lending. Those are the 3 key areas that we focus in on in everything, because that's really what it's all about. We want to get your credit in a position to get access to what you want, pay less, and be in a better financial position because of it. So perfect. We got quite a few people jumping on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go ahead and share a couple things as we get started here. It's 7:01 right now, so I love to start promptly because we got a lot to go through. So 1 second here. Go ahead and share sound.
Today, everything is impacted by credit, so it's absolutely vital to understand how credit works in order to achieve financial freedom.
This is why we started Credit Life, so that we can empower others to shift their money mindset and access better investment and credit opportunities.
We want to maximize your buying power and allow you to take control of your financial future. With our programs and strategies, we can expedite the process of improving your credit profile and credit score.
Despite what many believe, how we manage our money is far more important than how much money we make.
A lot of people are concerned about their ability to qualify for a mortgage, lowering their interest rates, or just managing their debt.
Through our coaching programs and our trademark Credit Builder Blueprint, Our clients not only save money and lower their interest rates, but learn how to get out of debt and finally achieve peace of mind.
We don't just support our clients' financial goals, we educate and empower them to create long-term strategies.
If you're trying to buy a home, start a new business, get a loan, get out of debt, or just want to improve your credit score, visit us online and fill out the contact request form.
Perfect. Then we just got one more here that I'm going to do, just a little promo to myself, not even a promo, just allowing you guys to understand a little bit more about me and who I am. So let me go ahead and open this up.
My name is Jared Havens, and I'm a financial freedom strategist. My team and I transform your money mindset to access better investment and credit opportunities that also maximize your buying power and allow you to take control of your financial future. Right out of high school, I got a job in real estate and mortgage financing, but I had no clue how to manage my debt, and I also didn't know how important my credit was. That was until the crash in 2008. I ended up moving back to Minnesota, but that's where I met my business partner, and together we started Credit Life. What I love most about what I do is when I hear from my clients how through our program, they were able to get out of debt, improve their credit, achieve their lending goals, and get back their buying confidence. Whenever I'm not working, I love to spend time with my family. We love to go hiking, mountain biking, and I'm a huge gamer. I love League of Legends. The best way to reach me is by visiting my personal website, jared360.com.
All right, perfect. Now you guys know a little bit more about me. Love what I do, love helping people.
Phil, for about a year now,
let me go ahead and turn that off there. So before I get started in the PowerPoint, if you're comfortable, would love to see people turn on their video. If you're comfortable, I know sometimes people don't like that, but I'd love to see who I'm interacting with, just because, for me, I love to kind of see how you guys are gauging what I'm saying, if you're with me or not. And if there's ever a point that you have a question, definitely use the chat. You'll find out that I'm all about giving a ton of education. I am here to support and assist and empower people. It's what I love doing, and I like to help people really gain that clarity in how this all works, so that way you can move forward in a much easier way to achieve your goals. Like Brett here, who's joined us tonight, Brett actually works with a partner of mine, Brennan Olson, in mortgage. And so he's going to see just like you guys all, kind of how this all works together and what he does every day helping people get into mortgages, so it's going to really ring true to, everything that we got going on here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the PowerPoint now. Now, when I go through the PowerPoint, there are going to be areas where I'll kind of stop, and I'm trying something a little new than I did last time. I'm going to stop, and I'm going to share some tools with you guys live on this webinar, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. Let me see if I can find it here. Boom, here it is. Perfect. Then we'll press play. Booyah, look at that. Technology, I'm getting it. All right, so tonight, credit hacks and strategies that create real opportunity. Now, I got 3 rules, all right? This is so important to me. Rule number 1, have fun. That's what it's all about. This to me is so important because what we're talking about tonight, even though it's so important to you, I know it is, and it's important to a lot of people, it can also be, it's not the most fun, right? So to me, if we can have fun while we're learning, that just means you're going to take in more and you're going to be able to execute better. That's why I want to make sure we all have fun tonight, okay? 2, interactive experience. I really want you to interact. Use that chat. Ask questions. If I don't answer it right away, I'll circle back around and answer it. I want you guys to engage. If I ask questions, engage. That's what's so important, because the more you interact, the more you're going to take away from it. And then take action. That's very important to me. We need to always be moving in a positive direction. The best way to do that is to take action, right? There's a quote that I love where it said, consistency is better than delayed perfection, right? Constant improvement is better than delayed perfection. It's so true in our day-to-day lives. It's very easy to get crippled and not take action And that only ends up hindering and hurting you. And so I want to make sure I push everyone here to take action one way or another. And you'll see how I operate here. I give it all away. You know what I mean? Because I want to make sure I meet you where you're at to help you take action the best way that's suited based on your situation. Now, when it comes to what we're dealing with, I know a lot of you guys are on right now. Let me see if I can open up the chat here. How do I do that? How do I open up the chat? Let's see here. Chat, boom. Let me see if I got it. Now, I would love for you guys all to jump in the chat real quick and let me know, why are you here? One, who wants to improve their credit? And then two, I'd love to find out what your goals are. So how many jump in? Let me know. Are you here to improve your credit? You want to know more about it? And what are your goals? Jump in the chat. Let me know. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see if I can see this. Alt H. Man, I cannot see the chat. So let me open it up. Yes, improve credit. There we go. Thank you. Yes, improve credit. Buy a home. Thank you. Here to learn more about credit and how to improve it. Love it. Yes, improve credit. Buy a home. Reach 850. You understand? Negotiate. Pay to delete. Awesome. I love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, so let me go back to sharing. All right, so we all know why we're here, right? The solution is to build and have better credit, okay? That is the solution to so many things. You're going to find out tonight why this all is so important, how it really impacts us far more than we even realize, okay? And I'm going to give you guys some solid tools that you can walk away with that you're going to love, all right? So let's see here. Is it going? Yep, there it is. Okay, so what is credit? Now, credit is a score, right? A lot of times people dictate, they look at credit as my score. Now, I want to, definitely write this down. Everyone, make sure, however you do this, write this down, take notes. I like to spend a little bit of time on this so you guys fully understand what credit is. Credit is a risk assessment algorithm. It's a score to ultimately help lenders make better lending decisions. That is the primary reason that credit is used, okay? Then with that, there are multiple different scoring algorithms. There's FICO, which is going to be the most popular and the most important, okay? The vast majority of all lenders utilize FICO credit scores to help them make better lending decisions. But there's also Vantage, and there's other scoring platforms, okay? This is important to understand that not all are the same, and even with FICO, check this out. A lot of people don't know this. FICO has multiple different scoring algorithms within itself based on what you're actually applying for. So if you apply for an auto loan, or if you apply for a credit card or a mortgage, you are going to have different scores for each one, okay? Because it's specific to what you're actually applying for. So credit is a risk assessment algorithm. It's a score to ultimately show your ability to handle more and the risk for the lender to lend you more, okay? Now, FICO, we talked about that. FICO, what is a FICO score? This is very important. This is what lenders use. So I'm going to spend more time on this, okay? So FICO, as we know, is the score that we want to hone in on for many reasons. A lot of times, though, people don't really understand what makes up a FICO score. Now, I have the chart on here, and the reason why I bring up this chart is this is available to everyone, but I like to spend more time on it because it seems, hey, well, that's simple. Oh, payment history, okay. Debt, okay, I get it. No, I'm going to break this down in a way that you guys really get it, okay? So now check this out. 35% is based on payment history. Now, definitely write this down. You are not necessarily rewarded for making payments on time nearly as much as you are negatively impacted for showing risk or being late. So 30 days delinquent or more, okay? So like if you think about it, FICO's there to show risk. It's a risk assessment algorithm. So if at any point within our credit profile or credit reporting history, we're showing risk, like a late payment, it severely brings down the score because it's 35% of the score, okay? Very, very important. That's the reason why just by making payments on time alone is a very long journey to credit improvement, because we're not really rewarded much for doing what we're supposed to be doing, so to speak. You know what I mean? It's like, well, that's what you're supposed to be doing, and that's good. But if you show anything bad, you're going to get knocked down for it, okay? So it's very important that you always want to be building up positive payment history and making payments on time. It's very, very important to avoid any late payments. And that's the reason why, if you have any within your history, could be something as to why it's weighing down the score. The more recent it is, the larger the negative impact. And as you distance away from the late payment, the negative impact lessens. Now, 30%. This is a very, very important one. I like to spend more time on this area because this is something that we have more, I would say, short-term control of when it comes to our credit score. So 30% amounts or amount of debt, amounts owed, specific to revolving debt, okay? So credit cards, lines of credit. Let me ask you guys, how many in the chat know the difference between a revolving account or an installment account? Jump on in, let me know. See if I can get in there. Yeah, the chat's working for me now. Sweet. Who knows the difference between a revolving account or an installment account? Anyone willing to bite? There might be a little bit of delay. I'm not seeing anything. That's okay. Let me see. Monthly and forever. Okay. I think revolving is a credit card, installment is like an auto loan. Yes, yes. Okay, great. Yes. So when it comes, let me just oh, I messed that one up. I didn't mean to do that. I clicked in the wrong area. How do I go back? Do I go like this? 1 second here. Let me go back. My PowerPoint. I'm so sorry. And then play. Can I play from there? Let me share again. I apologize for that. I'm still learning all the different ways of making this smooth for everyone. Okay, so installment is exactly what Kendra said. It's like an auto loan. So you want to think of installment debt as a auto loan, a student loan. Mortgage is technically an installment debt. Basically, it's a loan where you have a fixed term, you have a term, and you're making monthly payments to ultimately pay that off by the end of that term, right? So if it's an auto loan, like a 5 or 6 year term, mortgage, 30-year term, right? Those are you're making installment payments to ultimately pay it off over time. Whereas revolving is ever changing. It can go up, it can go down. You can use it, you cannot, right? It's just always changing. And there's a difference. And it's actually very important to understand that's the reason why you'll notice a lot within the group and with our clients. We focus heavily on debt management and credit building. And the reason being is that we want to build up both. We want to show a diverse credit profile, so to speak, a credit report. But in this area, this is a very powerful area, the 30%, because if we can manage our revolving accounts, so our credit cards and lines of credit, in the right way specific to the FICO algorithm, we can really maximize our score improvement. So a lot of you may have seen this in the group. Our clients definitely know this. To truly maximize your FICO score improvement potential, and this is going to be specific to the mortgage FICO score right now is what I'm talking about. We want to, any FICO score, but really the mortgage the most, we want to have what's called a 1 to 3% balance to limit ratio. 1 to 3%. What does that mean? Well, literally, if I have, let's say I have keep math simple, I have a $100 limit card, I would literally only spend $1 to $3 max, and the total of that billing month. And then once I get my bill, I can pay it off in full. But what happens is when you receive your bill, or your billing statement, I should say, the information on that is what's reported to the bureaus. And that's what we want to reflect on the credit report itself, the 1 to 3% balance to limit ratio. So 1,000, we're looking at 10 to 30, right? So it's not that much. You know, if it's $300 limit card, it's 3 to 9. So it's not much. And it kind of blows people's mind when they hear that, like, what? You know, because the most popular, I'd say right now, is 30%. People hear 30%, 30% or less. And that's just complete myth. And it's actually it's a myth that's out there in a lot of industries and everything. It's not true. If you want to maximize your point potential, you want to have a 1 to 3 balance limit ratio. Very, very powerful. Okay. I'm going to give you guys even something further here. You see right here, it says 15% length of credit history. Check this out. If you're looking to improve credit scores faster and you're looking to pay down debt strategically in revolving accounts now, credit cards are lines of credit, you'd want to first pay down the ones that have been open the longest down to the 1 to 3% balance. And by doing that, you're now maximizing point potential on both amounts owed, and by paying off one that's been open longer, it'll improve your scores faster. What do you think about that? So it's very powerful stuff. And the reason I bring that up is because dependent on your current debt load for credit cards, you know, you may not be in a position to quickly pay down debt to the 1 to 3%, right? And so that's why I wanted to bring that up, is that if that's the case, let's start strategically paying down the debt in a way that will improve scores the fastest. So that's really the power, I would say, that you all have a lot of control over, is one, making payments on time, on or before the due date. And then when it comes to revolving accounts, we want to have that 1 to 3% balance limit ratio. And if we are looking for reducing debt based on credit cards, we'd want to focus on the ones that have been open the longest first. See if I can get to the next one here. Perfect. Now, a lot of times we talk about buying power, okay? What is buying power? Buying power is the ability to get more. I always look at it like this. The more we can better our credit and better our credit profile allows us to access more, we have more buying power, and we pay less. That's so important. We pay less. By having a better credit score and a better credit profile, you will pay less for things, which gives you the ability to get more buying power. All right. Now, real quick, before I get into we're going to get into a lot of stuff here that you need to take notes on, but I just like to touch on so people understand, like, who am I? Why should you listen to me? Things like that. I don't like to spend a lot of time on this, but, you know, I am the official speaker on the National Board of Attorneys, and I touch on credit and financial wellness topics. I actually teach other attorneys. FICO certified in the algorithm. I mentor people. I've mentored in the group all the time. All sorts of stuff. We're endorsed by the #1 RE/MAX team in the world. I'm also an instructor at the Minneapolis Adult Learning Center. So that's for anyone that's local. I know you're all nationwide, all over, but here in Minneapolis, I teach at the Adult Learning Center, which is really cool. It's very rewarding. I love it. We've successfully graduated thousands of people, get into new homes, all that. So definitely know I have experience in this area. So we would love to, you know, obviously extend that to you guys. And real quick, you know, I'd like to talk about my story. I don't spend a lot of time on it, but I want you guys to understand where I come from and how I've gotten in this position. You know, as you saw in that one video, I actually used to be in the mortgage industry. And so at a young age, I moved out to California. I didn't know my father growing up, my biological father. He actually reached out to me when I was 18. And I ended up moving out there to get to know this whole side of my family I never knew growing up. And he was a broker in real estate out there. And what happened is at a young age, I was able to get into the real estate and mortgage industry. And in California at the time, based on the licensing in California, with your license, you could actually practice both real estate and mortgage with one license. Where here it's separated, and I think it's separated now in California, but before it wasn't. And so where I worked at with my biological father is I helped people both in real estate transactions and mortgage. And the one area that I really clung to was mortgage. I really like working with numbers, the lending process, credit. I just naturally was attracted to that. And it just really taught me a lot at a young age. The part that I was lacking in at a young age was experience. I myself have had bad credit. I mismanaged money. I got a bunch of credit cards when I was young. I was getting approved all day long. I'm maxing them out. I had no idea what I was doing. And so at a young age, even though I was gaining a lot of experience, which has been very beneficial for my clients and myself, I also have gone through it. I get it. You know, I had to go through credit repair myself and learn how this all worked. And so that to me is so powerful because, you know, I feel like when it comes to working with others, you know, I really understand where most have gone through. Like I hear a lot from our clients all the time, you know, I wish my parents would have taught me this growing up. You know, I wish I'd have learned more about this in school. They should have classes on this, right? And a lot of us share that type of experience. And that's true. Even now today, you can see that credit is very popular in a marketing sense. You know, Credit Karma, your credit cards, hey, get your score with our card here, and all these different things. But there lacks real substance to how this all truly works still. And that's where we came in to be able to give that, you know, to our clients and our members and our group, our community, is give you that knowledge so you can start piecing it all together. You know, because ultimately for me, in my story, you know, once I had my first daughter, I had to figure it out, you know? And so I had to step up and really figure out getting my better credit in a better place and all these different things. And so that's a big part of what I love doing and helping others is a lot of times people are looking to get into a house. They have a growing family. They have a little one on the way, you know? So that to me, what I found out is that increasing your credit score equals freedom and opportunity. It's so true. The better the better your credit, the better your financial position will equal freedom and opportunity. And that's what it's all about, is buying power and more opportunity to access the things that you want. And of course, there's challenges. There's challenges along the way. You know, having to figure this out. How does it all work? You know, and it's not just credit repair. We're going to touch on credit repair strategies here shortly, credit building and debt management, debt reduction in more detail, and get in a position on how to be approved for a mortgage in this market. But you're going to come into challenges. You know, could be confusion, financial, all sorts of stuff that I'll show you how to overcome. People don't know where to start. They don't know who to trust. That's a big one. You know, that's holding a lot of people back. So what I'm going to be going over here in this next section is what I call the ultimate house buying system. So this is going to incorporate credit improvement strategies that I talked about in my video to everyone in the invite. But then also I'm going to show you exactly how to position yourself by improving your credit in your financial position in this market. So let me get to that real quick. Here we go. All right. So everyone, this is definitely the part. If you haven't been writing things down along the way, you need to be doing it now because we're about to really get into it. So there's 7 steps that I've created for everyone here to follow to get in the best position to buy in your dream home. Okay. Step 1, we're going to start with the end in mind. So make sure you write that down. And if you are taking notes, I highly recommend it. Give yourself space in between because there's going to be a lot of things that we go under each step, okay? So step 1, start with the end in mind. Step 2, current assessment. Step 3, credit improvement. Step 4 is financial positioning. Step 5 is getting pre-approved. What does that actually look like? Step 6 is find your dream home. How do we do that? And how do we get in a position to do what I call as a power offer? And step 7 is going to be close and celebrate. That's a fun one. So let's start figuring this out. So start with the end in mind. Now, when I'm working with clients one-on-one, a big part of the initial consultation call that we go through is goal setting, okay? Now, goal setting is very important to get your focus, as to what it is that you're looking to get. One thing there's a saying that I love so much. And the saying is, you can have anything you want, you just may not be able to have everything. So we need to figure out the ranking of what's most important to you. You know what I mean? Does that ring true with anyone? There's a lot of things we want. And I'm not here to tell you what you can't have. I'm saying you can have anything. But let's figure out what's most important to you. So let's use mortgage, right? I want to buy a home. Perfect. Why? Well, we have a baby on the way. We need more space. I'm sick of renting. I want to have my own place. I want to start building up wealth. All these different things. You need to really lay out why is it important to you and be real with it. And then on top of that, how are you going to get there? Okay? You need to figure out in this situation specifically, what am I willing to do? What am I willing to invest time? Am I willing to invest money? What type of resources? Am I looking to do this DIY? Do it yourself? Professionally assisted? I mean, you got to really lay this out. It's true in anything. How am I going to get there? Oh, I went too fast again. My goodness, guys, I'm so sorry. This is a testimony I'll talk about later. Man, I got to go back. So before I get number 2, I got to stop clicking. How are we going to get there? Also, what is a realistic timeline? You need to look at, if you're in a lease, let's say, when does that lease end? And anyone that's in the industry right now knows this. The average length of time right now in this market, this hot market, is 4 months from getting pre-approved to closing on a home. That is the average length of time in any hot market right now in the nation is 4 months. So that means if you have a lease that is ending, you need to be in a position, I would say 4 months or more prior, so that way you can start that process and not get yourself in a position where you have a lease that's ending, you don't know if you should give your notice or not, right? I mean, you really want to forecast this out, because I'm a firm believer, if you can avoid this, is don't put yourself in a stressful situation when it comes to time. When people are stressed out, they get a little desperate, especially if they're lacking time, and they push the envelope, and they could easily end up making a misstep, not, overlooking something. There's so many different things that can happen just in how our mentality and our human nature works around that, where we could make a mistake. It's a much better situation to be realistic with your timeline, okay? And what I brought up there is so true. I mean, I'm telling you, I work with so many clients, and I have for many years. And anytime that someone is really pinching it on their time, it's like, look, maybe we need to up front start thinking about, do we have any month-to-month options? Is there a short-term lease that I could do, a short-term extension? If there is a month-to-month option, or let's say there's not, but you have a short-term lease, or what's the penalty of ending a lease early? Because maybe that penalty, as long as you do it properly, there's no negative impact to your credit. Is the penalty not that bad financially when it comes to maybe losing your deposit if you're getting into the home of your dreams? You can start laying that out in advance. And I'm not saying to do something to lose money, but if you map it out in a way where you understand what you're getting into, as long as it makes sense for you, then map that out in advance, okay? So the goal setting is very important. You have to understand that you have to be willing to invest time. Many times you have to invest money. Either it's through debt reduction, credit building. You have to be willing to allocate funds in a way to help you get to your goals. And also investing money could also mean just simply saving it too for the mortgage down payment, and placing that in a way where you feel like it's an expense, but it's actually going towards your future down payment. So many different things that we can do there. Okay. Now, step 2 is current assessment. Now, the first step in the current assessment is going to be your credit. You have to be able to access your credit. Now, the best step to do that, if you're, like, let's say you went and applied for a mortgage and they pulled a credit report. That's going to be very typical. If you apply for a mortgage, they're pulling credit, okay? That's normal. But if you're not, if you know you're not in a position to apply for a mortgage yet, you're doing this in advance, then what you want to be using, I mean, you want to use anyways at all times, is you want to access what's called online credit monitoring, consumer credit monitoring, okay? You do not want to utilize Credit Karma. And the reason being is that Credit Karma, you're lacking a lot of information. It's 2 out of the 3 bureaus. You need to know all 3. Mortgage, they pull from all 3 bureaus. So full scope of what's going on. You need to know what's going on with all 3 bureaus. And then on top of that, you need to have constant awareness, moving forward. But right now, when it comes to our assessment, we have to be able to pull a 3 bureau consumer credit report. So for anyone that has not yet done this, I know a lot of you have, professionally, we recommend Smart Credit. So if you just write down smartcreditvip.com, that's smartcreditvip.com, that is going to be a discounted link that we've secured for anyone in our community, anyone that we're helping, our clients, where you can pull and access a 3 bureau detailed report. There's no inquiry. It will not hurt your score. And now we can get an idea of what's actually on the report, okay? It's very important. Now, when it comes to reading a report, you want to go through it. That's what's nice about Smart Credit too, is you can view it on one report, and it breaks up into columns, the bureau's details between the 3. What you want to find is what's holding you down, what's negative. Are there any late payments? You want to highlight that. Are there any collection accounts? Are there any charged off accounts that have gone delinquent? Do you have any credit cards with high balances? You want to really start understanding your current credit status as to what's holding you back. And we're talking about how we handle those things in a moment. But I highly recommend printing out your report and using a highlighter so you can really gauge what's going on and take notes. Or if you use Adobe PDF, you can actually pull up a PDF, download it, and for free with the Adobe PDF, you can actually highlight and write notes right on your computer. A couple different options there. Next, you need to understand your financial position. So in this case, we know we're looking to be approved for a mortgage. So when it comes to your financial position, you want to look at, hey, we need to start getting an idea of what's coming in versus what's going out, right? And then based on that, do we have any wiggle room? And also, am I overspending anywhere? Is there any areas that I know I'm overspending, knowing that I have a goal that I want to achieve, that I can start taking back and allocating a way to help me get to my goals faster? So we have to understand our financial position. The best way to do that is by going through your bank statements, okay? You got to go through your bank statements. So many people I've helped personally and worked with, a lot of people just naturally kind of live, they operate in a way that they look at what's in their account and what their pay schedule is like. And they kind of go, okay, I know I have these bills due, and okay, I'm going to go Starbucks today, or, all these different things. And I'm in no way, once again, saying that you can't do things. I'm not here to tell you what you can't do or what you shouldn't do. What I'm saying is let's start looking at a way, in a productive way, to help us figure out what we want to be doing to get access to the things that we want more of, right? And so if that means that we have to start spending with a plan, is what I call it, then that's going to be very important. And the best way to figure that out is, what's our starting point? Am I overspending? What does that look like? So by pulling your bank statements and really gauging, where your spending has been going for the past 1 to 3 months is the first best step there. And then once again, knowing your timeline, we talked about that. It's very, very important that you know your timeline, because that will play a role in, all 3 of these things will help dictate that timeline too. Credit status, you might need 6 months. to get your credit in shape, to get into pre-approval position. When it comes to your financial position, you might need a few months to 6 months, 9 months. Get that done in advance now, so that way when you go and apply for a mortgage, you're in a much better position and it's not a stressful situation. You're going into it with buying confidence, buying power, and you'll be able to get access to more and pay less. Very important. I love bringing up these, especially people that don't know much about Credit Life. Passion here. Credit Life is the best choice I think I've ever made in life. Getting control of my credit and finances instead of letting it control me. If you listen to your coaches, you'll do well, worth every penny. Now let's get into step 3, credit improvement. Okay. Now, in how to improve your credit, what are the strategies? Well, one of those is going to be credit repair. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you the way to do this properly. All right. And in fact, someone brought this up already in the chat, and I'm glad they did. They brought up payment for deletion or payment for delete letters. So the first step to improving your credit is not payment for deletion. It's not paying things off always. So let's break this down. Really break this down. You have collections. Let's just say you have a history to work on, okay? You have collections, charged off accounts, and then you have accounts that are not in a derogatory, status, but are still causing a negative impact. So we need to change the management. So you really have a few different sections that you got to hone in on. Okay. Now let's talk about credit repair. So if you have collections, it's I don't know how this got so popular. I just feel like it's another thing that is misinformation out there. Did I get a chat here? Okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, no problem. It's like, it's just, and it's not your fault either. Trust me. There's just so much information out there, and a lot of times people just start with what's called payment for deletion. They think that's the way. So check this out. The vast majority, there's thousands of collection companies nationwide. The vast majority will not and do not do payment for deletion. Number one, it's very important to know. Now, think about this. If you start the process by initiating, reaching out to collection companies to do payment for deletion, let's say you have 4, or let's keep math simple. I got 10 collections, and 2 of them can do it. 8 of them can't. Okay. Hey, I got 2. Hey, I'm doing 2. This is great, right? You're feeling good about it. The issue is for the 8, now you're on their radar. Now they're going to really increase their collection efforts because you've now proactively reached out to them. You're on their radar. They're going to hit you up. And if they see or feel, because they can do what's called soft pulls on your credit, if they see anything that indicates that they should pursue a judgment, you actually can put yourself at risk to get pursued if you prematurely reach out to them for a payment for deletion. So it once again can easily put more stress on you, okay, prematurely. Now check this out. Here's how we flip it to a positive. If we find out through due diligence, now at Credit Life, we have a list, but if we find out through due diligence, the ones that offer payment for deletion, or you find out, like let's say one does, like LVNV funding, let's say, if they do payment for deletion, they do payment for deletion. That's going to always be an option. That's always out there. What we first want to do is do what's called investigation. We want to use template letters, proper ones. And the reason I bring up template letters is because what people ultimately end up using when they're doing DIY is they access template letters. And what's important is about the structure and the verbiage that's used based on what we're challenging. Okay, so when it comes to credit repair, ultimately what we're doing is we're challenging the reporting history in a way that's difficult for the creditor or collection company to verify. And at any point they're unable to, the credit bureaus then deem that as no longer verifiable data, and they delete it off your report. And the reason why that is because the credit bureaus are for-profit businesses and they sell your information for a fee. They make money on your data. And as data is being reported to them, they don't verify it. It's an automated process. I mean, think how much data they're getting in constantly. I mean, it's a massive amount of data that comes in. So because of that, there was a law put in place, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, that empowers you, the consumer, gives you the right, but it also puts the responsibility on you to initiate, to challenge reporting history. Now, with that being said, the reason why I say reporting history is we don't necessarily want to challenge the validity of the debt as if it didn't happen. If we know it happened, or if we know it's yours, you don't want to go down that road. What we want to do is be strategic and challenge aspects of the account and the history of the account to first attempt to delete it. Now, if we can delete it off the report first, then you go and settle, because now you have power. It's very important to know that just because it's been deleted off the report doesn't mean they can no longer collect on it. There's a big difference there. There's reporting and there's the ability to collect. And so ideally, once again, we want to attempt to delete first through investigation letters and then settle once deleted, okay? And then the goal there is to settle for the least amount possible to save the most amount of money. Because once again, to bring up payment for deletion, what do you think they're going to want for payment for deletion? They're ultimately going to want more money. The average settlement savings in a payment for deletion is significantly less than a straight negotiation for selling for the least amount possible. So by repairing first and then settling, that's the best. Now, once again, it's not a guarantee that everything gets deleted through repair. It's not a guarantee. The goal is to repair as much as possible, okay? So we want to repair the past as much as possible, and then based on the types of accounts that were in our starting point, in our initial assessment, when things are being removed, that's when we want to go and settle. So now we don't run the chance of it getting sold, that collection, and then potentially reported and hurting us again, okay? So to kind of recap that real quick is we want to investigate to attempt to repair and remove first, then settle for the least amount possible to save the most amount of money, which then also stops it from being potentially sold to another collection company down the road, which then means it could get re-reported as a new collection, thus hurting your score, dropping it down again. You don't want to put a Band-Aid on it. We want to actually fix it, right? And that's what that process does. Now, I see the chat. Oh, that's a great question, Cheryl. No. So as long as that's what's really cool about investigation. If it was found to be no longer verifiable information by the bureaus and it's deleted, it's not going to get reported. If it does, there's a potential violation there. Okay. So you can feel confident to do that, to settle after deletion. Now, the reason why, it gets brought up a lot in people, like either through history or experience or like, for instance, not to talk bad about other companies, but Lexington Law and really a lot of companies, their model is repair only. All they do is help you repair, okay? Well, the issue is what you're going to find out is there's a lot more to all this than just repairing. It's important, but there's a lot more, okay? And we got to make sure we do these follow-up steps properly to ultimately seal the deal, to truly maximize our potential to get what we want and also have that long term, okay? Let's see if I can. Okay, next is building better credit. This is very important. I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. In fact, let me ask you guys this. I'm going to ask in the chat. People are chatting anyways. Let me just. So, and I'll jump back to those questions real quick. I want to ask you all something. Let's just say you're all doing credit repair right now, okay? Either with us or on your own through our templates or whatever it is. How many of you think by having something deleted through credit repair improves your score? I'll just ask you, do you think by having something deleted, like a collection, will automatically improve your score? Yes or no? Awesome. I'm loving the engagement. This is good. Good. I'm loving it. So check this out. Check this out. This is so important. Think of it like this. When you, let's say I apply for a mortgage today. When they pull credit, it is literally a snapshot based on the data from all the bureaus. So you have all 3 bureaus, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, full history, boom, FICO scores for the mortgage model. Here we go, right? It's a snapshot at that moment in time. Whatever that history is dictates that score, okay? Now, if we have, our history, if we go through and we start, we're having success in credit repair, we're deleting negative accounts, right? That's very good, but it does not always mean scores go up. What it means is there's less weight weighing down the scores, but the importance of your open accounts become far more important. The weight of these accounts increase, okay? So basically what I mean is we have to constantly build our credit strategically and properly to not only mitigate any negative from our past weighing us down, but by having less negative weighing us down, scores go up much faster. So when something's removed, it does not directly mean scores go up. It gives us the opportunity to improve scores faster over time. That's a very big difference that's not talked about in the industry at all. That's just how it is. In fact, I've gone through and I've looked at studies that were done with the bureaus directly. The vast majority of people, it's kind of crazy. I'll share this in the group sometime. The vast majority of people that went through the investigation process, has all the data, all the thousands upon thousands of requests, and of those requests, it showed how many resulted in a change. And of those, the percentage of that change that actually improved the credit score, the percentage was much lower than you'd think. And once again, I know why that is. People are not spending enough time in understanding the importance of building and management of their credit and debt. They're too focused on repair. So it's very, very important that you understand that. We have to do all 3. We have to repair the past, we have to build, and we have to manage, okay? So, and I'll go back and touch on your questions again a little bit after, okay? I want to make sure you have time for all this. So we have to build better credit. What does that mean? Well, one of that is the revolving area I talked about earlier. Credit cards and lines of credit. Ideally, we want to build 3 to 5 active revolving accounts in good standing over time. So if you're starting out and you have less than that, we want to strategically build up to that. Okay? And it's all based on our current credit status. One thing I highly recommend is I do not like the shotgun approach, I call it, where it's like, hey, I need to build credit. I'm trying to fix my credit. I want to improve it. I need to open. You start opening up all these accounts. Well, the thing is, remember, if we're in a position of poor or fair credit, what types of accounts do you think you're going to get approved for? Accounts that are for poor or fair credit people. You're going to pay more monthly, annual fees, all sorts of stuff. So don't get me wrong. We want to strategically build. We might have to access an account or 2 like that. But what we want to do is by building and then through proper management and maximizing point potential, we're going to naturally get access and get approved for better accounts, higher limits, lower fees, things that will grow with us, accounts that we actually want, right? So that's very important to know. Don't make that mistake where you just try to get whatever you can because you're trying to get it. That's what I'm talking about before. Is either lack of knowledge, or there might be that pressure sense, like I want to take action, and you start pulling the trigger too quickly on things. It's much better to strategically build. You will get to your goals faster, and you're gonna end up with better accounts for the long term instead of a ton of, lack of a better term, crappy accounts that you don't want, because as you know, closing accounts hurt your score as well. Closing credit cards hurt you over time. So you're building up all that history and stuff and those ratios, and then you're closing them out. So it's recommended not to do that. We talked about repairing the past, okay? Later on, I'm going to arm you all with tools, templates that we have, that we've created professional templates to arm you with this, okay? Now remember, you want to first investigate and repair. Debt settlement comes later. Now, financial positioning. I'm going to spend some time on this because it's very, very important. Debt management. So we talked about this before in credit repair, okay? We're repairing the past. We're also now building credit. Well, we need to manage our debt properly, okay? One thing that I like to bring up with people is a lot of times people who have gone through an issue in their life look at credit and debt in a negative way. It's like, credit cards got me in trouble before. That's why I've gotten in trouble. Or, I'm paycheck to paycheck. Debt's weighing me down. These payments are weighing me down, right? There's things that just naturally are negative. We need to flip it. We're going to flip it, right? We are going to flip it in a way where credit and debt become tools to empower us to get what we want. And through that is understanding how to manage debt. Now, one thing we learned with revolving accounts is that lower ratio. That's so important. Now remember, what's the magic ratio? 1 to 3%. And that is specific to when you know in the future, now you're looking to improve your credit scores. You want to maximize your point improvement potential. You want to build and improve, but you also know that you're going to be applying for things in the future. So we want to position ourselves to have a higher score to get better financing. But check this out. Someone brought up DTI. Also, by managing your credit cards with low ratios, we'll also have a very low monthly reporting payment, which will better your debt to income ratio overall. Because the way it works, and we'll talk about this for pre-approval, debt to income in the pre-approval part, debt to income is a big part of the mortgage financing as well. We have to see how much you can afford. So through proper debt management, we can achieve two things. We can achieve better scores and lower ratios, better debt to income ratio. So important. Now, debt management also falls into, with me, debt settlement, okay? Now, if we know that we have some debts out there that will hinder us, there's a difference. Charged off accounts are a big one, especially if they're $1,000 or more. Collections, $1,000 or more, non-medical are definitely hindrances when it comes to the mortgage process. Those are key ones to hone in on first. Ideally, we'd like to repair and then settle. So that's, remember to know that. But also, what was I going to say on that? Debt settlement. Yes. Now, a debt settlement, one thing to give you guys a little tool here is any time that you're reaching out to settle, if we know we're doing this in advance, ideally the best time to settle debt is at the end of a month or end of a quarter. And why do you think that is? Because they're business. And if you have a better opportunity of getting someone on the phone that's motivated to settle that debt at the end of a month or end of a quarter, because they have numbers to hit. Okay. And it's also powerful if you know your financial position and you're going into it with the plan and you know how much you're going to go in with the settlement amount, you can help control that narrative much better than reacting to a phone call, reacting to a letter, or even calling them unprepared. And then now they're flipping on you and they're getting more money out of you, right? So you want to have power there. Focused savings. I'm going to show you all something later that I use and I have partnered with Credit Life. I have partnered with Money Mastery. And in fact, everyone that's in our core program now, and a lot of you, if the clients that are on would have received emails about this, everyone gets this now. We're paying for it for our clients in our core program. gets access to Money Mastery, which is absolutely phenomenal money management app that you can use on your phone, on your computer, that will ultimately, it's a very user friendly. It's my favorite one, where it's, you just can really really lay out what's going on, what's coming in, what's going out. And then with that, focus savings, debt reduction planning, all the things I was talking about before, we can actually put into this app to give you even more clarity in your direction and give you better timelines. And with that, focus savings. Now, remember, we all know, once again, what's our goal? We want to be approved for a mortgage. That's what we're talking about tonight. That was a big goal for most people. Well, with that, there are costs involved with the mortgage, especially in a hot market. Don't get me wrong. There's programs out there. There's a lot of cool stuff. There's 100% financing in certain areas, USDA, all these different things. So don't overly dwell on this in a way that it hinders action. But what I'm saying is, if we're starting in advance proactively, we have a better opportunity to start actually have a focused savings that can be used for financing, to put us in a better position for financing. Because as anyone in the industry knows, if we go into and we have more assets that we can show, we have a savings saved up, down payment, earnest money deposit, any costs associated to the loan, you're prepared, right? Instead of going to it, applying and realizing, oh snap, I need how much, right? Now we're going backwards again, having to figure this out. Let's go into it in advance through spending with the plan and positioning ourselves financially. Very, very important stuff if we can do that in advance. Once again, spending with the plan. Now, this is something I'm really excited about. When we talk about the end of our program today, I have a 2-day workshop coming up with Alan Williams, the CEO of Money Mastery. He has been in the business for almost 40 years. He literally is like a Dave Ramsey. He's amazing. Okay. My conversations with him have been game-changing for me personally the past few years. And when it comes to debt management and what he's opened up my eyes to and the possibilities. And so I love to take this to our clients. And so spending with the plan is a big part of it. So how many of you in here just kind of don't like budgeting? You think of budgeting and you're like, yeah, that I know I need to do it, but a lot of people aren't motivated to budget. And a lot of times because budgeting can have a negative connotation in a way, because we feel like by budgeting, we're taking something away. We have to spend less. We have to do less of what I like, but that's not how it is. What we're doing is we're flipping it to spending with the plan. I literally want everyone to get to the point where you spend 100% of what you make. Now, write this down, and I'm going to explain it, because when people hear that, they go, what? I want you to get to the point that in your plan, you spend 100% of what you make every month. But what does that mean? Well, it means I have an association to my income, and I know exactly where it goes. Focused savings can be one of those things, right? If I know I want to be approved for a mortgage and I'm now creating a spending plan, I know I'm going to allocate a certain amount as an expense towards this bracket that's then going to be used for this. We need to always know what's going on. And with that, you can also identify a lifestyle. Well, what is our lifestyle? What do we want it to be, right? And if we know that certain things are important to us, that's fine. But I can tell you 9 times out of 10, a lot of people, when they start figuring this out, realize there's areas that they're overspending, that they are more than willing to cut back on, or identify areas that didn't even really fully understand until we've laid it out, where, wow, now I have an extra 100, 200, 300, whatever it is, to then start putting towards the things that I want. And then couple that with better credit. Like, for instance, credit plays a huge role in our insurance premiums. Auto's a big one. So along the way, by improving our credit, we can start accessing better financing or premiums to better our financial position, finding more, additional cash flow to then once again allocate towards the things we want. You're going to find how this all starts to flow together, and it gets a lot easier once we get going. Love this one from William. Credit Life, I was able to buy the home of my dreams, true professionals that I felt were with me throughout the process, return my credit to a manageable state. They thoroughly explained to me why they chose for me to follow a certain blueprint, how it would benefit my family. I recommend Credit Life. He felt like he had nowhere to turn, and he worked with us. It was awesome. So I want to extend that same to all of you here tonight with what you're learning, okay? We can all get, I'm telling you right now, if you're focused and motivated, there's always a solution. We just got to put together the plan. Now, step 5 is getting pre-approved, okay? Now, this one is important to me because just like credit and financial management, I spend a lot of time on, this area is very important because the more informed you can enter into the mortgage process in advance, the smoother the process is for you, who you're working with, and the entire transaction. It's so much easier. And once again, like I talked about in the beginning, less stress empowers you to get after what it is that you want, which is searching for that home of your dreams. So debt to income ratio, all right? Now, when it comes, a lot of people, when they hear debt to income ratio, they think about their entire debt, all of their debt as a total. The reality is it's not about what your total debt amount is. It's about the minimum monthly payment reporting within your credit report, as well as the proposed mortgage payment, taxes, and insurance. Okay? So what's that mortgage payment looking like? And what's my minimum monthly payments reporting in total? And with that, we want that number to be a certain percent or less of our gross monthly earnings. Okay? So let's say we make $5,000 a month gross. Keep math simple. In most cases, and there's a range, I'm going to keep it simple. Let's say we want to be 45% or less. Well, let's just say 50%. That we're kind of pushing it there. I don't want us to push it. Let's just say, for math's sake, 50% is what we want to be or under. Well, we want the proposed mortgage payment as well as our minimum monthly payments to equal $2,500 or less. 50% or less. Less is better. In fact, by having a better debt to income ratio, lower ratio is going to put you in a better position, right? You don't have to necessarily max it out. And I'm not saying not to do what you want. What I'm saying is that if you know how to position your debt in advance within reason to lower debt to income ratio or that monthly payment reporting to improve debt to income ratio, you're increasing overall buying power and you're giving yourself more wiggle room to potentially have a lower ratio to make the mortgage transaction less risk, which is going to be an easier, smoother transaction. So it's super powerful, understanding debt to income ratio. Now, your documents, all right? I like to bring this one up. Anyone in the industry knows how this works, but most people don't know this going into the mortgage. You're going to want to have your documents prepared. You have to have your pay stubs, right? And typically your most full 30 days. So if you get paid every 2 weeks, you want to have at least 3 pay cycles. If you have the full 30 days or more, you have to make sure it's a 30 days or more is typically what they're going to want to use. Assets. What are assets? Assets are like bank statements. 401k is included in an asset. You want to have those documents prepared in advance. It's also important too when it comes to, we talk about focused savings. One area that's very important in the mortgage process is being able to source your down payment. Well, if you in advance start working on savings, focused savings into your account, well, now it's very easy to source where that came from, which is better and for the transaction as a whole. So you'll see how this all comes together. It's kind of crazy. It literally makes everything better for you, and you're going to be in a much better position. Now, there are times where like a gift can be used in certain things. A loan officer will explain that if that's something that you're doing. But once again, if we're looking to get in a power position in advance, having that focused savings done is really going to be powerful for many reasons. Getting connected with a trusted mortgage professional. I can't stress this enough. Here at Credit Life, we work with a ton of trusted mortgage professionals nationwide that we can connect you through our Right Way to Real Estate connection. In fact, Brett, I know, is on here that works with Brandon Olson. I've been working with Brandon for a long time. He is someone in that network. He's awesome, very trusted mortgage professional. There's some great people out there. But the reason why I bring this up is that two things. One, there are a lot of loan officers, and there's a ton of realtors you'll find. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. There's just a lot. So it can be difficult to navigate through who is going to be a good fit and do a good job for me, right? You've done all this work, right? You've invested time, you debt focused savings, credit repair, credit improvement. I mean, you are night and day different in what you used to be, what you are now, right? Well, the next step is making sure that you align yourself with a team that will extend that same service and that same experience, because you worked hard for it, you deserve it, right? You want someone that's going to be trusted and is very knowledgeable in the process that can help you up front get what I call a full package that will ultimately make everything easier as you go through underwriting. Okay, very, very important stuff. And the best way to do that is by knowing, having your documents prepared, all that. Okay. Now, finding your dream home. Okay, I'm going to spend a lot of time on this again, especially in this market. It is a hot market. I mean, I would love for you guys to jump in. In your area right now, is it hot there? What's it like? Do you have low inventory? Prices have gone up like crazy, high demand. What's it like right now in your area? What's it look like in your real estate market? Blazing hot. There it is. Yep, exactly. Yeah, this market is like, it's like never been seen before. Okay, exactly. Look at that. Not enough homes, low inventory, high demand. Dude, this market is crazy. Now, I'm going to tell you something. It's just the reality of what it is. I was reading up on analysis of the people that are ultimately getting into these homes. They're getting in better mortgage products. They're just higher tier clients, better credit, all that. It's just you're coming in what's called a power offer. So I'm going to tell you all right now, once again, this is not to delay you in your goals. I want to empower you and educate you on the opportunity, because any one of you can get in a position like what I'm about to talk about, as long as you know the steps to get there. Literally, people you need to in this market have to be in a position where, one, not only getting pre-approved, you're getting pre-approved for a good mortgage, right? Conventional lending is a good one. There's certain mortgage that they look at that are stronger than others naturally in the offers. It's just how it is. You want to get in a position to get the best type of financing. Once again, getting connected with a trusted loan officer is very important, because they can help paint the picture of your ability to close on the loan. Okay? That's what sellers are looking for. They're kind of navigating through, like, some of them are getting ridiculous amount of offers. So yes, having the ability to have a, higher earnest money deposit to show that you're serious, to be able to have funds available. I mean, obviously you want your credit to be A credit if possible. All this is going to be very, very important that we start planning for right now, because it will put you in a position to be highly competitive in a highly competitive market to ultimately get what you want, especially with historically low interest rates. That alone is more buying power. If you can access that, you get more for less. Okay. So having your ducks in a row is so important. You got your pre-approval ready, your credit's there, your everything, you're ready to rock. Okay. You're using our system. I can't stress this enough. I haven't, right now what you just accessed and what I'm going through, it's a lot of information. It's just a taste of what it all means and how to really execute on it, but it's a good starting point. But you want to use our system that's real, meaning you're working on repair, strategic credit building, debt management, We're bringing in the money management piece, focused savings, all the different things. You can do it. I'm telling you right now, you can do it. If at any point you've been feeling a little bit overwhelmed, like, oh man, that's a lot. I mean, trust me, you can do it. I know you can. And if you just keep going, it's about constant improvement. Keep pushing, you're going to get in that good position. That's what I want for everyone, okay? And using our system is going to help you there. You know, whether it's the free to the paid, it doesn't matter. Any of our system I'm putting out is going to help you there, okay? Having the power offer ready, meaning, once again, you know, I know Brett works with Brandon. They would understand this. Like, one, there's a difference between like a pre-qual. Like, let's say, like, you know, for instance, I'll just bring it up. You know, Rocket Mortgage is really powerful right now, or popular, I should say. The issue is when you go through them and you get a pre-qual letter to go shopping, yes, you can technically go shopping with that for a property, but it's not nearly as powerful as actually getting pre-approved, or I should say conditionally pre-qualified, meaning you have your ducks in a row, you've presented your papers, you know, Brandon, they know, like, hey, here's what you can be approved for, all that. That plays a big role in being able to do a power offer and positioning yourself to be more credible to sellers than someone like working with Rocket Mortgage. It's just true. Yep, Brett's saying 100%. I know it's kind of crazy because you would think, well, I see all this marketing and all this stuff out there. I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of issues of people's loans falling apart. I mean, imagine this. I'm not trying to give you a horror story, but this is just true. This has happened to a ton of people. Imagine you get a simple like pre-approval letter without having your documents, nothing, right? And you're like, okay, I'm going shopping. And then all of a sudden you get a house, the offer's accepted, let's say hypothetically. People's loans have literally fallen apart in underwriting because they didn't have a full package up front as to what they're dealing with. You've already put your notice in. You're supposed to be moving out. You're about to be homeless. This has happened to so many people, right? You want to avoid that. That's why I want to empower you all right now in advance to having your ducks in a row in advance, because once again, it's going to make the entire process better and smoother. You're going to get access to more and better financing, better mortgage products. I mean, this is all key stuff. I'm really giving you guys a world here. And it's going to also give you the position to have a power offer ready to be more competitive in this market. Super, super powerful stuff, okay? You want to definitely work with an experienced local agent. This is very important, okay? You want someone, like I brought up before, there's a lot of agents out there, right? And I don't know them all or anything like that. I would say that you have a few options. One, if you work with us at Credit Life through Right Way to Real Estate, we have connections nationwide where we can get you connected with great, great people in your area that are full-time, experienced, know your market, all that, okay? With the right teams is who we work with, teams nationwide. Now, I would say the ones that you want to avoid, you want to find out, you know, how long you've been doing this. Are you full-time? You definitely in this market do not want to be working with a part-time person. Believe me, there's actually quite a few part-time agents. You want someone like this is their sole business. This is what they do every single day. They're going to go out there and shop for you, know how to position the right type of offer, know how to stage you in a way that you're more credible. Working with someone like Brandon Brett and their team, right, as an example, where it's like they're able to kind of show, hey, this person's credible and all that. All of that is going to play a huge role in you to be hyper competitive in this market, okay? So making sure you do your due diligence with the right agent to make sure you jive with them. I mean, you're going to be working together for a while, you know what I mean? So you want to make sure you like them. But then two, they're after it. They know what they're doing, okay? Extremely important. One thing that I bring up, and once again, this is not to downgrade family or friends, but I will say this. Other horror stories I have heard is it's pretty common where people are like, oh, you know, my cousin's an agent, or my family or my friend is, right? And it's kind of like you feel obligated because of the relationship. I would say, remember, this is typically, I mean, for 99%, this is like the biggest purchase of your life. You want to make sure that you are choosing to work with a professional who's highly experienced, that knows what they're doing. Now, your friend or family member may be that person, but no, don't necessarily feel obligated to work with them. You want to work with someone who's going to do right by you. Okay. That's important. I have to bring that up because I just think it's important. I've heard a lot where people don't align with the right ones. And once again, it makes the process more stressful. You're always wondering, you're confused, you're not getting offers accepted. I mean, imagine going from place to place to place to place and constantly being denied your offers and getting your hopes up and all that. I mean, that you want to avoid that as much as possible. You want to compete. And in order to do that, you got to do what I'm talking about right here. Okay. It's very important. So, okay, perfect. We'll stop here. From the first consultation, our minds were put at ease. Our credit has done a complete turnaround. It's unbelievable. We're so thankful for Jared and his team. We never thought this was possible. We're going to be able to buy our first home, and it's incredible. I just love it. So, last, close and celebrate. Woohoo! That's what it's all about, right? So, enjoying peace of mind, knowing you got what you wanted. You've gotten top tier pricing. You were prepared in advance. You got more, paid less, all that. You got the dream home, right? Through having better credit, more buying power, it's easier to furnish your property. That's a big one. If there's any type of things that you want to do to it, it's easier by having better credit. You may want to have a housewarming party, have people over, all that. Imagine all the cool things that you can now do, that you've done all this great hard work. It's hard work, don't get me wrong, but you did all this work and now you're able to celebrate. That's so important, however you want to do it, okay? Awesome. This company's been patient with me, keeps working hard to be debt-free. I was lost, felt my credit would never be repaired. They've given me hope, and I appreciate them so much. Love that. I mean, you name it, we got all sorts of stuff there. So let me see if I can close out. Okay, perfect. Now, how many of you, I know I was talking a lot there. How many of you had value in what I talked about? Did you learn a lot? Drop in. Let me know. Did you guys learn a lot? I know it went over a lot, but how are you feeling tonight? Love it. Lola, love it. Yes, Tanisha, yes, you're welcome. Awesome. Awesome. I'm loving it. Okay, perfect. Yeah, this is something, just so you all know, this is something that I'm hosting events like this often, monthly. We started here recently. I'm going to be doing this often. So knowing that you're on the email invite, the things that you're going to want to look out for, okay? If you are not a client in our core program, I would say, this event is going to happen twice a month. What I just went over, it's going to be evolving. I'm sure I'll add things based on, nuggets I can really empower people with. It's a lot that I've gone over. We're actually going to be hosting a mortgage readiness workshop where I bring in partners from around, local here to me and all around the nation, our partners, so we can really dive into the mortgage process in more detail. So that will be really cool. Look out for that. There's gonna be two different ones. There's gonna be one that I do like this setting to a bunch of people. And we'll actually have one that we're tailoring towards people in our core program as well. A little bit more advanced just because we know where they're at in the program. It's a little bit different, but we'll have two different ones going like that, mortgage readiness workshop, and all that. So I wanted to ask, for all that are still on with me, would it be okay with you all for me to show you the different opportunities we have available where we can assist you further? Would that be okay with you all? If I could show you that. Yes. Okay, perfect. Yep. Perfect. Actually, Cheryl, I'm going to be showing that. Okay, perfect. All right. Now, I'm going to show everyone a few different options, okay, that I have prepared for people that I know will there's a lot of good stuff here, okay? Now, I'm going to first share my screen on some stuff I want to show you, okay? So let me go ahead and get over to here. Okay. Now, first, everyone, make sure you write this down if you don't already. type in www.creditlife, so no T in credit. So instead of credit life, it's creditlife, so no T.com. And it should bring you to our website that will look like this. Okay. Now, what you want to do is you want to go to tools. Okay. In the tools section, we have a ton of information in here. Let me just sorry, let me see if I can mute all. Just so that there we go. Now this is what we put together for the do-it-yourselfers, right? So a lot of people came from our group. Free Credit Repair Advice group on Facebook is phenomenal. The coaches and I, my team, volunteer time to give out professional education, answer questions live throughout the week. That's amazing. Then on top of that, we have things that we've created as resources for you here for free. Now, I talked about the credit repair in the beginning, okay? So we have we have credit bureau contact information in here. You know, it comes to mailing them, how to mail them, what their addresses are. We also have credit safety guide, how to get started. We have professional tips, budgeting, debt reduction calculators, and we have 2 amazing templates to start with. So if you are looking to work on, I would say, this on your own, this is a very good starting point because these 2 letters here will help you get started. Now, there may need to be some follow-up required, but what I'm saying is that this definitely is a very, very solid starting point for anyone that's looking to kind of dip their feet as to getting this fixed on their own to kind of just experience that, right? And at least you know you're in a trusted resource to do it right out the gates. Now, I want to show you guys Money Mastery, okay? So for anyone that's in our core program, this is included in your program now at no additional cost. We're paying for it. Something I put together personally with the owner of this company, okay? I want to show you guys what it looks like. So this is the desktop version, the computer version. In there, you're going to get access to amazing courses, okay? These courses you can do at your own pace, at your own time, which is, you know, totally great. It's just based on when you want to do it. But here's the deal, the money plan, okay? This is what I'm talking about. So I have a sample one in here for everyone to see. So I want to show you how simple this is. You literally just put in your information. So at first, it'll automatically have you do it, where you put in your plan name, your name, spouse's name, ages, retirement age, all that. That's all you have to do. This is a required area. You got to be able to do that. Okay, who you are, what's your name, retirement. If you don't know, put 65. That's the average. What most people put in there that they want to plan for retirement. That's important. Okay, this allows you to work the system. Now check this out. Next, you go through a spending plan, right? So if you click on view income, you actually start going in here what your historical income is, meaning your pay stubs, right? What is your gross earnings? And right on your pay stubs, you can factor in how much is be taken out for taxes. This is important. The reason being, it's actually not hard to do. You just look at your pay stubs. This is important because you want to gauge not only what your income is, you actually want to gauge how much you're paying in taxes. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit as to why, and an event that I'm going to be hosting that will actually show you if you're a W-2 employee, I literally can essentially guarantee you ways to start saving money in your taxes immediately that will reflect on your check within a matter of just a little bit. Okay, but here you put in your stuff. Okay. Here, you're just putting in what your expenses are. It's amazing, okay? Getting us clarity as to what's actually going on, what's coming in, what's going out. So we know what our income is. We know everything, all right? Debts. This is what I love. Putting in our debts. What are the interest rates? What are the monthly payments? And then with this, we can actually start putting together a strategic debt reduction plan. And I want to show you what that looks like real quick. Let me share this document. So I want you guys to see this. I want you guys to have a visual here. Check this out. This is an example of a get out of debt report. So literally through an idea of like, hey, we got this medical debt here. We got a Discover card, Visa, furniture, auto mortgage, right, is an example, and what the monthly payments are, okay? Now, through a system of what we call power down or snowball loan, you can actually see here if this person only paid the minimum payments of just this, what they have here, meaning they didn't get any more debt, just this, would take them 29 years to pay this off. It's crazy. Obviously, they have a mortgage, so that's a big reason why. Look at this, though. Just through debt acceleration, meaning not even doing any additional like focused effort outside of just strategic debt reduction, they're out of debt in 9 years, including the mortgage. This is amazing stuff, guys. I mean, I can't express it enough. I mean, anyone can do this. If you have an income and you're in a position where you have an income and obviously you're getting a mortgage, all that, this is naturally going to be your next step. I'm telling you, because the more that you can start honing in on debt reduction once you're getting that mortgage and you're positioning yourself for the future, oh my goodness. I mean, you definitely don't want to be in a position later where I've heard this a lot from people. I know I'm getting a little farther along where it's like, you're now worried about retirement. You don't have enough saved for retirement. The life expectancy, people are outliving their retirement right now. It's a big deal. So I want to empower you guys on these next steps. So what's amazing about Money Mastery is it helps us immensely get a handle on what's coming in versus what's going out and properly positioning for savings, all that, the mortgage. But then also it can be used next level stuff. Okay. Now I'm just going to share a couple more things. I want you guys to really, I want you guys to see a few things. Now, someone asked about the credit flood. Now, the credit flood is something that we have as a one-off purchase or will be included in a package where we actually have more templates, 609, the credit bureaus, 611. We have the eviction, if there's an eviction on your record, a HIPAA medical one, repossession, inquiries. We have all the info for the bureaus. It's access to more information, okay? So there's something there. Now, I just want to show you guys something real quick. Now, people, if you're looking to, let me ask you guys in the chat real quick, how many of you are looking to hire a professional to work with you more, like Credit Life? How many are interested in that? Or who's more interested in DIY? Let me know. Wherever you're at, let me know. Are you guys trying to do this? Need assistance? Okay. Okay. No, this is good. All right, here's what I'm gonna do because it's 8:30. We were supposed to end at 8:30. Maybe hard, not sure yet. Okay, here's what I want us to do. Blake, Hannah, they're on my team. Here's all you have to do. Okay, is schedule. If you guys could put in your link in the chat. Schedule a quick call with my team. This is my team now. Okay, they will go over with you on the call our DIY options as well as like all of our options. They're going to go through your situation and then figure out what's best for you and what our options are. Okay, so just click on that. Hannah just put hers in. All you have to do is click on her link. It'll open up her calendar, schedule a quick call with Hannah. Blake, if you could drop in your link too. There's Blake. Okay, perfect. That way you guys can get in there. Their work Monday through Friday. That's the first step. I'm telling you all right now, if you're trying to figure out, should I do this on my own and what resources do you have available? Or should I hire you guys for a core program? What does that look like? Okay. Talk to them and that will allow you to schedule that. We can work with anyone in our core program, any state except Georgia. Okay. If you're in Georgia, schedule a call with them still. I've created a package specific to you that I just finished. Okay. So we have a pro coaching package, which we've been doing. I've actually changed that moving forward now, just recently, a new package that's going to empower you with more on repair, but then working with our coaching team. It's amazing. So it looks like someone
You wanna
messaged me.
argue,
Yeah, click on the link, schedule that call.
Why is it got to be arguing?
There we go. Sorry. Just quickly schedule a call. That's all you got to do. If I just want to thank everyone so much for your time tonight. Thank you so much. Please look out for more events. Like I said, I'm going to be doing this type of event a couple times a month on credit and all the entire process. Look out for the mortgage readiness event. Look out for an invite on that. We're going to really dive in. I'm going to bring in mortgage professionals, our partners, into those that will dive into that process even more so. And all of that. Look out. I want to empower people as much as possible. And if you're a core client, if you're already in the program, look out. You're actually going to be getting an invite to a 2-day workshop I'm hosting with Alan at Money Mastery to help people live literally start creating a spending plan, debt reduction plan, everything live right on the workshop. It's a 2-day workshop. We'll walk you through everything. The experts will help you with everything. I've secured that. I'm paying for that. You don't have to worry about it. If you're in the core program, I got you covered there. Okay. And if you're not, if you schedule that call with Blake and Hannah, just talk to them. We can go over all the different options available to you. And there's no pressure to it. Don't worry about it. Just it's about clarity. Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. Thank you. That was wonderful. I really love the fact how many people we had on. I love how you guys, how everyone said they got a lot out of it. That's what it's all about. I really want to continue to educate, empower, assist, because I get it. It can be very stressful, so I want to be there for you. And that's what it's all about. So thank you guys all for your time tonight. I'll stay on just a little bit longer. That way you guys can, if you are wanting to book that call with Hannah or Blake. Yes, thank you, Paula, Ramisha, Cheryl. Yes, thank you all so much. Hannah, Blake, put your link in one more time, please, for anyone that wants to schedule a quick call with them. They have availability tomorrow, and they can just go over our different options. Just find out what's best for you. There's no obligation to enroll into anything. They'll just educate you on what we can do for you, and then you make a decision. It's that simple. So I love that you guys all joined me tonight, and thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my video and mute myself, and I'll keep this going for a little bit so people can make sure they have access to that information. Alexandra, if you just look in the chat there, yes, Ramisha. Yep. Anyone schedule. We'll show you exactly how we work with Georgia clients. Yep. Alexandra, if you look in the chat and either from Blake to everyone or Hannah to everyone, it says so excited, click, and it's a link to schedule a quick call with me. All you have to do is click on that link. It opens up their calendar and you can just book a call that works best for you. It's just super simple. You can do it from your phone or whatever. You just click it and then, yeah, that's it. If you have any more questions, I'll be in the chat, okay? Karen, to schedule a call, Hannah or Blake, if you could put in your link again. In the chat, you'll see they'll put it in. There's a link that you just click on. And once you click on it, it opens up and you can just literally schedule a call. Like right there from Hannah, it says, so excited, click. And then that's the link to schedule a quick call with me. You just click on that. There we go. Yep. And there's Blake too. Blake as well. They're both awesome. All right. Is everyone, before I shut it down, I just want to make sure, has everyone good to go before I shut this off?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't see anywhere where I'm supposed to get a link. I'm on my cell phone. I've never done this before, so I
Oh, no
can't.
problem. No
Where-
problem. Let me see if I can send you a direct message on it. Let me see if that works. Okay. 1 second. And it's Alexandra, right?
Correct.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. So I'm going to try to send you now. Okay, I just sent it to you. Did you see anything pop up in your chat area?
Oh yeah, so what do I do with that?
So now, are you on a phone or on a computer?
I'm on a phone.
Okay, so you should be able to click on that link with your finger.
Okay, now it just disappeared before I did that because I didn't know what I was supposed to do with it. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I'll send it again.
Okay.
And then you should be able to click on it with your finger and it'll open up a site to schedule a call where you just choose a time and then you
Oh
put
no,
your
see,
information in.
yeah, it just opened up to the chat. There's
Oh,
nothing.
interesting. Interesting.
Yeah,
You
there's
know what?
nothing.
Let me see if I have your information. I don't know. Let me look you up in our system real quick to see what information we do have, to see if I can just have like Hannah or Blake text you.
Okay, that works.
Let me just see real quick. Alexandra. Okay, you're in here. Yep, I think I won't say this. I'll just say area code a 763 number. Does that sound right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, perfect. I will have Hannah or Blake text you right now all the
Okay.
information. Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you. It was
No,
great.
thank you so much. I really appreciate that feedback.
Love your enthusiasm.
Thank you so much. Well, have a great night. Thanks for joining.
You too.
See ya. Thank you, Karen.